Alright, so this video is going to be about finding zeros of a polynomial function, but you're going to be given a zero or a factor. So this would be a problem where you wouldn't have a calculator. I would give, or the teacher, whoever's your teacher, would give you a polynomial function, say, for our first example here, they would go with, oh, whoops. They would go with, say, example 1. They might say f of x equals x cubed minus 13x minus 12, right? And so there's your function, and they might say a factor is, or a zero is, with a given zero at x equals 4. And so the instructions would say something to the effect of factor the polynomial and find all zeros. And so just in case this is your first time at it, zeros are x-intercepts, right, of a function. And so this one's just going to strictly focus on finding real zeros of a polynomial function given certain things that we know about the function already. So here we go. So if I have a function, f of x equals x cubed minus 13x minus 12, the reason they gave me the 0 is so that I can take that and I can write it as a factor, x minus 4. And what that means is if they tell us that that 0 is at x equals 4, it means that the function f of x will be divisible by x minus 4. So we're actually going to do x cubed minus 13x minus 12 divided by x minus 4. And so the way that I would suggest is I would use synthetic division. So I'd put a 4 on the outside. I'd have 1, 0, negative 13, and negative 12. And then I'd bring the 1 down. Then multiply, so that'd be 4, 4, 16, 3, positive 12, and that's 0. So the reason we want to divide is because f of x in its original state, as you kind of look at it, this guy right here, it is not factorable. It just doesn't work. It's x cubed minus 13x minus 12, and that just won't factor nicely for you in your head. So we have to use a given 0 to divide, and now it gets us to a situation where now I can rewrite f of x as a product of what I divided by. So I divided by x minus 4 times the result that I got, the quotient. And so this would be x squared, 4x, and 3. So x squared plus 4x plus 3. And then now we can factor the quadratic. So you're always trying to get to something that is now hopefully factorable in your head. So f of x equals x minus 4, x plus 3, and x plus 1. And now that it's factored, you could list your zeros if you're being asked for them. They would be at x equals 4, which we already knew, and then also at negative 3 and negative 1. So that function has 3 x-intercepts, and they are at 0, 4, 0, negative 3, 0, and 1, 0. So what happens if they just give you a factor, but you're not able to use synthetic division? So let's throw one out there like this. Let's say in example 2, you have same instructions, factor the polynomial, and find the zeros, but now f of x, let's go with, is 6x cubed plus 41 x squared minus 9x minus 14. And let's say that they tell us that a factor is at 2x plus 1. So a factor of the polynomial is 2x plus 1, which means it's divisible by 2x plus 1. Here's the problem with that. In my class, I don't teach people how to do synthetic division with that. I just encourage them to do long division because it'll take probably the same amount of time, and synthetic division doesn't always work, so you always have to have another way. and that'd be long division. So you'd take 2x plus 1 and put it on the outside of this long division box here. Then I'll have 6x cubed plus 41x squared minus 9x minus 14. And if you check my YouTube channel, I've got a video on long division already, so if long division you struggle with that, feel free to go watch that one. I'm going to move pretty quickly through this though. So 6x cubed divided by 2x would be 3x squared, so I'm going to put that right here, 3x squared. Then that'd be 6x cubed plus 3x squared, and we're going to change the signs and add down. And so that would be 38x squared minus 9x minus 14. And then kind of rinse and repeat, so that'd be plus 19x. And then that'd be 38x plus 19x, right? And then change the signs and add down. So now I'm sitting at negative 28x minus 14. And then that would be minus 14. And then multiply, that'd be negative 28x minus 14. Change the signs, add down, you get 0. So it divides evenly. So now we can rewrite f of x. F of x is as follows, right? It is 2x plus 1, that's what we divided by, multiplied by the quotient, 3x squared plus 19x minus 14. And we're going to try to factor 2x plus 1 times 3x squared, plus, or we're going to factor 3x squared plus 19x minus 14. And lucky for us, it does factor. It would factor to 3x squared, just kidding, 3x, and then x, and multiply, so plus 7, that would be positive 21, and minus 2, that would be negative 2, so that would make positive 19, and 2x plus 1. And so there's your factored form of f of x, and you could find your zeros. So to list the zeros out, it would be negative 1/2, 2/3, and negative 7. So if they say just factor, right, if the instructions were to say just factor the polynomial, I would have stopped right here. But if they say solve for the zeros, then my finish line would be there, those zeros of the polynomial. There's one more that I could show you, and I might as well since you're here. If you're about to leave though, don't forget to hit like and subscribe, to get more awesome math videos while you're in Algebra 2 and Trig or college algebra even, whatever you're doing. But here you go. Last one might be a situation where you have the same instructions, but what they're going to give you is they're going to give you a function, f of x equals 8x to the 4th minus 14x to the 3rd minus 71x squared minus 10x plus 24. And they're going to tell you that two factors are going to be x plus 2 and x minus 4. The reason I bring this one up is because in this case you're going to have to divide 2 times in a row. Reason being is if you were to take a look at the degree of the polynomial, it's 4, and if you divide 2 times in a row, then you'll get it down to a degree of 2, which would be a quadratic, and hopefully you can factor that quadratic. So and if you can't, go check my YouTube page out, and you can go watch a video on factoring quadratics and hopefully get some help there. But here you go. So you would divide just 2 times in a row. Doesn't matter which one you start with. So negative 2. And then you're going to go with 8, negative 14, negative 71, negative 10, and 24. Hopefully you're okay with me doing synthetic division since it's just x and then a number. So 8, negative 16, negative 30, 60, negative 11, 22, 12, and negative 24. So it ends in 0. That's good. And we're going to divide right in a row again. So now 4 is going to be on the outside, and we'll move the 8 down again. 8, and then 32, 2, 8, negative 3, negative 12, 0. And so to rewrite f of x, you would have x plus 2, x minus 4, and 8x squared plus 2x minus 3, to which you can factor it. And so x plus 2, x minus 4, and I believe that's going to be 4x, 2x, and if you kind of do it in your head a little bit, this would be plus 3 and minus 1. And so that's what your function is, factored. And if you wanted to list the zeros, you could just set each one to 0. So it'd be -2, 4, -3/4, and +1/2. And so that's how you would find the factored form of a function if it factors, and they give you some zeros, and you can work with those to divide and find the zeros of a function in the fully factored form. All right, have a great day.